Stop buying expensive boutique Overdrive and Fuzz pedals if you're just going to suffocate their circuits with a poorly placed buffer. Seriously. If your drive pedals sound harsh, thin, or completely lose their dynamic touch sensitivity, you aren't dealing with a bad pedal. You're making a critical impedance matching error, and it's completely altering how your guitar pickups interact with your analog clipping stages. Look, this isn't about magical diodes or rare new old stock transistors. This is about the brutal, inescapable math of analog electronics.
So why does your $300 boutique Fuzz sound like a cheap chainsaw? You plug in this high-end, meticulously wired vintage Fuzz clone. You're fully expecting that organic, amp-like sag, right? The kind that responds to every nuance of your pick attack. But instead, you hit an open A chord and you're greeted with an ice-pick synthetic buzz that completely ignores your guitar's volume control. It's harsh, it's brittle. Why? Because you're feeding a circuit designed in the 1960s with a signal it was never engineered to process.
Let's break down the symptoms, starting with symptom 1, a remarkably thin and harsh tone. When you introduce an improper impedance match, you're essentially throwing a massive pile of high-frequency content and odd-order harmonics straight at your amplifier's front end. If you're plugging into a classic black panel Fender or a Marshall lead circuit with a bright cap on the volume pot, that amp is effectively spotlighting the ugliest, most abrasive part of your fuzz. That smooth transition you paid top dollar for, it's replaced by a razor-edged high-end that is, frankly, entirely unmusical.
Symptom 2 is a total loss of dynamic touch. A properly integrated fuzz should feel like a living, breathing extension of your instrument. But when your impedance is mismatched, that natural compression you get when you dig into the strings, it vanishes. Instead of a signal that breathes, you get hard, linear clipping. You're hitting a brick wall. The pedal no longer responds to the mechanical force of your hands. It just spits out a uniform square wave regardless of how hard or soft you play. Finally, symptom 3, the dead volume knob. A classic germanium fuzz is legendary for its ability to clean up. Rolling back your guitar's volume from 10 to 9.5 should yield a sparkly, touch-sensitive clean tone. But with a buffer sitting in front of it, rolling back the volume no longer cleans up the clipping. It just leaves the tone choked, anemic, and completely lifeless. The pedal is seeing a static, low-impedance signal that fundamentally breaks its interactive design.
The impedance crash. Let's deconstruct this electrical blueprint.
We need to coldly define what we're actually talking about here. Input impedance is the AC equivalent of resistance. It dictates exactly how electrical energy, in this case, the alternating current generated by your passive guitar pickups, moves through a circuit. It governs how an effect pedal loads the preceding electrical energy. Think of it as a barrier that determines how much signal is allowed to enter and how that entry forces the source to alter its own behavior.
Now contrast these two environments. On one side, we have a vintage circuit, like a classic fuzz face. It has an ultra-low input impedance of around 10K ohms. It was specifically designed to actively load your pickups. It wants to pull current directly from your guitar. On the other side, we have a modern buffer, or modern pedal, with an input impedance of 1 megaohm or higher. A buffer is designed to completely isolate your pickups, providing infinite current to the next stage without loading the guitar at all. These are two fundamentally opposed electrical philosophies.
This is the physical reality of your guitar signal. It is not just a clean audio line. The passive pickup coil, the 250K or 500K volume potentiometers, and the capacitance of your instrument cable all act together as a complex, interactive filter. They form a capacitive loaded voltage divider. When a vintage fuzz is connected directly to this network, the fuzz's low input impedance becomes part of this exact circuit. The fuzz literally alters the behavior of your guitar's volume pot.
When you get this wrong, the damage is instantaneous. A passive pickup has a natural resonant peak, that beautiful spike right around 4 to 6 kilohertz that gives a guitar its presence and character. When you place a high-impedance buffer in front of a low-impedance vintage fuzz, you sever the connection between the guitar and the fuzz. The buffer provides infinite current to a pedal that relies on current starvation. The fuzz hard clips instantly, completely destroying this resonant peak and flattening out the dynamic frequency response.
To put it in visceral terms, connecting a high-impedance guitar output, say 10,000 ohms, to a low-impedance input of 10,000 ohms or less, without proper staging, is like connecting a garden hose to a fire nozzle. The hose simply cannot produce enough flow or current for the size of the opening to maintain the pressure. The pressure drops instantly and your tone is completely killed. The physics dictate the tone. You can't argue with it.
The $0 board reroute. Let's restore the interactive ecosystem. So how do we fix this autopsy of a failed tone? Here's the exact $0 signal re-architecture you need to implement on your board.
Step 1. Your passive guitar must plug directly into any unbuffered, low-impedance dependent drives. Fuzz faces, tone benders, vintage treble boosters, these go first, always. They must act as a true electrical extension of the guitar's volume pot. Step 2. Place your standard, higher impedance overdrives next. Step 3. Move your dedicated buffers, buffered tuners, and digital delays to the absolute end of the drive section. This simple routing ensures the low-impedance circuits get the raw, unbuffered signal they require to bias correctly and actually clean up with your volume knob.
Look, if your routing is wrong, it is mathematically impossible to even diagnose the internal state of your pedal. Take the bias state, for example. An underbiased fuzz, where the voltage is too low, gives you a gated, sputtery decay and a lean bass response. An overbiased fuzz yields harsh, stiff clipping with less sustain. But here's the critical failure point. If you're ramming a buffered, low-impedance signal into that fuzz, you will artificially create these exact symptoms of harshness and stiff clipping, completely masking the actual bias state of the transistors. You have to isolate the variables, and that starts with correct routing.
The interactive ecosystem. These are the harsh laws of analog electronics. Let's get one thing straight. A pedalboard is an interactive electrical ecosystem, not a line of independent boxes. That is the fundamental truth, and it's exactly the brutal electrical reality we build for here at the Tone Manual. Every patch cable, every potentiometer, and every input stage is a component in a single, massive, breathing analog network. If you treat your pedals like isolated digital plugins, your tone will suffer. You must respect the load.
Which leaves us with a highly divisive question to close out this technical breakdown. Let's take it to the comments. Does a buffer everywhere rig actually ruin the raw analog nature of your tone by isolating the pickups from the clipping stages? Or are true bypass purists just terrified of modern impedance matching and clinging to outdated circuit flaws? Drop your technical arguments below. Analyze your rig, check your input impedances, and for the love of tone, stop suffocating your gear.